Hello everyone, Laura from Laura's Arts and Craft Ideas. Today we're gonna talk about canvas panels. I guess it's already up. If not, it's gonna be after this one, where we talk about panels, wood panels for painting, and now we're gonna talk about the canvas panels, where you're gonna apply canvas or even canvas paper to it. Okay, or so you're gonna be able to use something like just the back of your pads, cardboard. This is just a flap of box. Is this one, or even if you have a few foam boards laying around, you can use them. Okay, so we're gonna be using stuff that we have, and also we can make this great for studies or even for kids to play with and paint, which is cheaper than just using your canvases. All right, your canvases or buying canvas panels. Now, if you gonna use canvas paper, I will say, well, this is not too cheap either, but it's a good alternative, and you can always, like, if it is a small piece that you want to do, you can always use one sheet for two or something like that. This is 9x12. You can have a 9x12 piece and use the whole thing or something. And you can also, for example, this is more craft canvas. So I got it on clearance at Michael's, I think it was. So, but it's a good alternative. It has colors, though you will need to prime it, but I will prime it with clear gesso or white gesso, even if you just don't want the color. I just got a few of them, and as you can see, I already used a part of it, and I used it just on a cardboard notebook that I had, and I used it and paint over it, and it was really nice. Let me see if I can find it and show it to you. Yes, here. So I glue it here and I paint over it. I put a clear coat of gesso on it. I hope the clear is good. And then I just paint it, and it was really nice to work with. And you can use that. As you see, this is you saw me make this for the what do you call the 29 faces challenge. So these are some of the faces. So this is what came out from that piece of canvas. Okay, let's get started. I'm using a piece from the flap from the box, sorry, and I just applying a coat of matte medium. That's what I'm going to use from glue. Any pH neutral glue will do. You apply some glue over on the back of my canvas fabric, because that way I make sure that I have a good adhesion. I apply more glue to the cardboard because it absorbed the first one, so I want to make sure I have glue. Be careful that you don't have that part that glue that come out. I use some tracing paper and then rolling it from the middle out, just to make sure there's no bubbles and I have a good adhesion. I should probably let it dry before cutting a bit more, but it was okay in this case. Now I am just folding the laps and cutting the corners so I can have a better fold. And this, I'm not making this to look beautiful because I just want this to use as an alternative to canvas panels, because they're good, better to storage, and they're good for studies too. So this one would be good for to making studies or just playing around. Okay, since the back of this box is ugly, if it were normal, it'd be okay, maybe better. Anyway, I fold it and let it dry before I apply the gesso on top of it. You can also use staples to adhere the back, you know, those flaps. You can staple them, make sure they don't go all the way through the other side. because then it's gonna mess up. Now I'm using just the canvas paper and the foam board. Foam boards are kind of expensive, but I've been having that one laying around and I just want to make use of it, so I'm using what I have. And as I mentioned, you can use the back of your paper pads when they're over. Remember, depending on how thick it is, this is how sturdy you're gonna have your panel, okay? So I diluted a little bit the matte medium because I was running out of it and it was a bit thick. And just to have and this is a smooth surface, so I'm gonna have a better glue thing application. It's not gonna absorb it, so I might not need that much. Again, I'm rolling it and applying pressure as long as you have something to apply pressure from the center out to avoid bubbles. Here, I did in fact should have wait until it dries, since I am cutting it really close to the support, which is the foam board, and I ended up like gluing, like it wasn't dry, so one corner didn't glue well, so I just applied some more glue and I should have put some more pressure. Now it's important to be careful here too, because the glue goes through the zip through the paper and it get very, like you see this is very thin and this is just a piece of cardboard with some gesso, and that's something I brought to the store and I was so thin that I'm warped that I have to apply gesso, and I still need to apply more layers of gesso so it doesn't warp much. Now I put the other since it warped a little bit, I put it under some books just to make sure that it was flat. Let's apply now the gesso on top of this one. Okay, as I mentioned, you could have used I could have used clear gesso if I want to keep the color, as I did for that piece that I showed you before. But here I want to apply it white gesso to show you that you can cover it, that it doesn't matter if you find canvas fabric or something similar, or any fabric that you thick fabric that you want to use to have some texture. You can doesn't matter the color, you can cover it with gesso. This is just the first layer I'm showing you here, and just make sure you apply and cover. The first layer is not going to cover enough, okay, so you're going to need to do at least 3 coats at least, okay. So first, like I showed you in the previous video, I apply in one direction, and when it's dry, my next layer is in another direction. This one was vertical. I will apply the second one horizontal, and then alternate them until the last one. All right. So here's the final product. I did like 5 coats because I was going very thin, and then I was like, too much. So I applied a thicker coat, and as you see, is the red one. It's just pure white. It's light and sturdy, kind of sturdy, and you can see there's like a little bit of a fold in there, and that's from my cardboard. Okay, so you need to be careful on the pieces the cardboard you use, because that one has already bent, so that's a big point in there, and so you want one that is not bent, so it's a little bit sturdy. With all the gesso and the fabric, it will give it a little bit more of a stability, but it is good for study, to take it out and try some plein air and just practice. Okay, the other one here, this is the final. You see white because my foam board was white, but if you can see, I forgot to put a piece of paper in between the books and my canvas, so I messed it up and I ended up gluing part of the book in there and ripping out some of the paper when I realized it too late, because I used my medium and I used to glue. So I just put some gesso, and I might need to put some more gesso on it. And anyway, I'm gonna cover it with paint. This is for study, but if you want something clearer and more neat, remember to just protect your surfaces. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you like it and try it. And this is just something cheap and that you can use at home with any fabric and stuff like that. So